Hi family. So today, hi guys. So today we are going to finish up multi-step equations with variables on both sides. So just recalling, we're analyzing, but we're mainly in these problems solving the linear equations, the equations that if we were to graph them, they would form a line. Today we are really focusing on solving the equations by using the distributive property. Oh man, I didn't take out my trash and I hear them going by. Okay, anyway, we're going to solve them using the distributive property. All right, distributive property, guys, is when we have like 2, 3 minus x, and that's when we do the rainbow. 2 times 3, 2 times negative x. So that's what we are going to be focusing on today. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak. We are going to be focusing on multi-step equations with one variable using distributive property. Can you solve them when they have variables on both sides by combining like terms and distributing? So this is the third Khan Academy assignment for this week. Equations with parentheses. Parentheses, distributive property. Example 1. 8 times 10 minus k equals 2k. Why did I read that as 8 times 10 minus k? Guys, parentheses, there's no plus sign between them. There's no minus. So when there's parentheses, we're grouping the 10 minus k, and this 8 is being multiplied by this group. We're multiplying the 8 by both the 10 and by that negative k. So I know in the video when we have problems like, what was it, like 8, 10 minus k equals 80, you could distribute first, or a faster way is you undo that multiplication. This is being multiplied by it, so you divide to undo that multiplication by 8. What we do to one side, we do to the other, and then it's easy. It just leaves us 10 minus k equals 80 divided by 8 is 10. And then you solve it for k. But when it's variables on both sides, it's not going to make it cleaner to divide both sides by 8. Because if we divide this by 8, then we're essentially making a fraction into the equation that doesn't have a fraction. And then that just gets kind of uglier. So when there's variables on both sides, you need to use the distributive property to solve them. You need to rainbow it, distribute, multiply the 8 by both terms. We're multiplying by both terms. So 8 times 10 is 80. You have to know this is a negative k or minus k. Negative minus, same thing. 8 times negative k is negative 8k. And then just bring down that equals 2k. So you have to distribute, you have to multiply that 8 throughout. Now we lock up our variables and draw the line. So clearly we have variables on both sides. We need to get the variables just to one side. Well, we only have a constant. We only have a number on this side. We don't have like plus 50 or anything over here. So I'm going to get this negative 8k over there. How do we undo negative or minus 8k? Well, the opposite of minus or negative is plus. So add 8k to both sides. Negative 8k plus 8k, if we have negative 8k's and we add 8k's, it goes away, it cancels out. It leaves us with no k's. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So add 8k. So we still have our 80 left over here. We bring it down. Bring down your equal sign. 2k's plus 8 more k's is 10k. Box it up. So 10 times some number equals 80. Well, how do we undo this multiplication, the marriage? We have to divide. Divide both sides by 10. So 10k divided by 10. 10 divided by 10 is just 1. It leaves us with 1k. We're lazy, we just write k, we don't write the 1. What we do to one side, we do to the other. 80 divided by 10 just leaves us with 8. So k equals 8. You always can plug it in and check. Remember, guys, remember the commercial, plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in, check. 8 in for k. 10 minus 8 is 2. 2 times 8 is 16, so the left side is 16. 2 times k, so 2 times 8 is 16. They better equal each other, and they do. Good. All right, number 2. Negative w equals 9 times w minus 10. Again, there's variables on both sides. So it's not going to do us any good to divide by 9 to undo this multiplication, because then it's just going to make an ugly fraction. We need to distribute. We need to rainbow this 9 throughout. So bring down your negative w and the equal sign. Now think about it. What is 9 times w? I want you to practice this, guys. Don't just watch me. If you distribute this 9 throughout, what will you get? 9 times w. 9w. 9 times negative 10. Do not forget this minus sign. 9 times negative 10, positive times a negative. Okay, positive humans, dogs, negative. Humans and dogs don't go together, so no, negative. 9 times negative 10, negative 90. All right, box up my variables. I have one on both sides. So I want to get the variables on one side. I'm going to get them away from this whole number, this negative 90. So right now it's a positive 9w. How do I get rid of a positive 9w? You subtract it, undo it. 9w minus 9w goes away, leaves us with nothing. So we just have the negative 90 on this side. We subtracted 9w from this side, so we have to do it to the other side. So guys, that's negative 1w. There's an invisible 1 in front of this. That's an invisible 1 right there. Negative 1w minus 9 more. Negative 1 minus 9 is negative 10w. Box it up. All right, they're touching, they're married. We have to undo that. Divide both sides by negative 10. So that leaves us with just the w. What we divide one side by, we divide the other side by. Negative 90 divided by negative 10. Negative divided by negative is positive. 90 divided by 10 is 9. So really, once you distribute at the beginning, it's just equations with variables on both sides. The only difference is now you have to distribute it first. Let's do a little bit harder one. I need a new color. This is looking dull. Let us do this one. M equals negative 4 plus m plus 2. So I want you guys to think about, what would you do first? What does it mean, this negative sign out front? So you could look at it one of two ways. You could say, hey, I need to distribute this negative throughout. Or technically, you could be like, hey, that's an invisible 1. Whichever way it makes sense in your brain. Regardless, we have to distribute this negative sign. You have to do the grouping first. Guys, PEMDAS. PEMDAS. when it has variables on both sides, we have to take care of this grouping. We have to take care of the parentheses. I know when we're solving equations, you kind of go in the reverse order, but variables on both sides, you have to do distributive property first. Then you go in reverse order for solving. So that leaves us with m equals negative times positive 4 is a negative 4. You're basically distributing the negative. So both of these are becoming the opposite sign. That was a positive 4, so it's a negative 4. That was a positive m. If we multiply it by a negative 1, it's negative m. And then you just bring the plus 2 down. So that's a really, really, really important step to understand what we just did. We distributed the negative sign throughout. Now, you look on both sides. Do we have a variable on both sides? Yes. Guys, box that negative sign with it. Do not forget that's a negative m. Okay, a subtraction sign is exactly the same as negative. Look on the left side. Is there anything we have to combine? No. Look on the right side. Can we combine anything? Yes, we can combine that negative 4 and that positive 2. They're constants. They don't have a variable. So that leaves us with m equals, well, what's negative 4 plus 2? Negative 2. And don't forget, that's a minus m. That's a negative m. Well, this looks funky. How are we going to get this negative m over there? What do you think? Get this negative m over there. We need to get rid of it on this side. We just need them on one side. Add it. Do the opposite. Negative 1m plus m. So negative 1m plus 1m, it goes away. But you have to do it to the other side. You have to. Or else it's wrong. 1m plus 1m. So if I have 1m and then someone gives me another m, I have 2 m's. I have M&M's. 2 m's. Bring down that negative 2. So 2m equals negative 2. They're touching, they're married, divide, divorce. Divide by 2, divide by 2. M equals, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. We don't write the 1 out front. We're lazy. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. 2 divided by 2 is 1. M is negative 1. All right, let's do one more together. Let me pick a hard one so that we're good to go. All right. We're going to do, so number 4, 3 minus 2, parenthesis, x minus 2, close parenthesis, equals 2 minus 7x. Holy moly, Miss Fry. So we have to solve this multi-step linear equation. We got to relate this back to our learning goal. What are we doing? Can you solve this multi-step linear equation? Linear because the x's have an invisible exponent of 1. It's not x squared or anything. By combining like terms and distributing. Immediately, guys, when you see variables on both sides, and parentheses, you have to distribute first. Now this one is tricky. They are trying to mess you up. This is not a positive 2. You don't just multiply 2 by both of them. This is a negative 2. You gotta know that. That's a negative 2. That sign in front of it, the minus sign, is attached to it. That's negative. Let's just bring down this 3. Just bring it down. I'm going to bring down my equal sign and bring down the 2 minus 7x. So now all I have left to write is what I have to focus on, this distributing. So we are distributing this negative 2 and multiplying it by the x and multiplying it by the other -2. We're multiplying. We're doing the rainbow, distributing. So think about what you would get. -2 times x. Guys, I urge you to pause this video. Actually try to solve these without just watching me. -2 times x. -2x. -2 times -2. Negative times a negative is a positive, plus 2 times 2 is 4. It's not so scary once you get rid of that. If you do not remember that this is a minus or a negative, it will mess up the problem. Okay, now we can lock up our variables. We have one on each side. So that means there's things we can combine. On the left side, we have two constants. We have two numbers without variables. We have a +3 and a +4. 3 plus 4. So first, guys, first look, are there parentheses? Yes, distribute. Because we have variables on both sides, so distribute. Step 2. Are there like terms on either side of the equation to combine? Okay, this side, there's nothing to combine. But this side, we have the 3 and the +4 to combine. 3 plus 4 is 7. And then we just bring down that -2x. Equals, and then just bring down the 2 minus 7x. So, this is level 1 with, or maybe it's level 2, because there's constants. But this is what we started with. Variables on both sides, and constant on both sides. Get variables to one side, get constants to the other. Okay, step 2, we started with, you have to combine like terms. There's things, yes, obviously we're combining like terms when we solve this by combining the variables, combining the constants. But here there's like terms in each expression. There's like terms on each side that we have to combine. The maximum level that we're doing in this video is distributive property. You have to distribute first, then combine like terms on each side. Now combine like terms to solve it. So I color-coded the like terms. That helps me visually. Okay, you can get this -2x over there. You can get this -7x over there. It does not matter which side you do. I'm just going to get this -7x over here. So the opposite of negative or -7x is add 7x. It goes away. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Add 7x. I repeat, you could have added 2x over there. It still would get you the same answer in the end. Bring down the 7. -2x plus 7x. -2 plus 7. -2 plus 7 plus 5x equals, and bring down that 2. So we have 7 plus 5x equals 2. Now it's a two-step equation. Step 1, lock up the variable. Step 2, draw the line. Step 3, combine like terms. Get this +7 over there. But we have to undo the positive, the +7, so we minus it, subtract it. -7, what we do to one side, we do to the other. Bring down that 5x. 2 minus 7 is -5. Okay, last step. So 5 times some number is -5. They're touching, they're married, they're being multiplied, so we divide. Divide both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. It just leaves us with 1x. We're lazy, we just write the x. -5 divided by 5. Negative divided by a positive is negative. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Guys, this is tough, challenging stuff. Do not be discouraged. Okay, take it slowly. This is 8th grade content. Okay, Miss Bloomdahl next year will be going through this again. But she's expecting that you really learned it and got a solid grip on it this year. So, do you know how to solve equations with variables on both sides? When it has distributing, when it has combining like terms, and getting eventually just the x by itself. All right, so now you guys are ready to do your 3rd Khan Academy assignment for this week, and it's called Equations with Parentheses.